2 world records at the weekend, is in the pacemaking chair this evening. Let's pick up the pole vault live, shall we? We'll confirm that 1500 metres B race for you fully shortly. Yarrisley Silva, second attempt coming up here at 4 metres and 37. So a modest height, and at the moment, Yarrisley Silva just struggling for a little bit of fluency there. So 2 times of failure at 4:37. Alicia Newman is the one athlete who came in at this height who cleared first time. Irina Zhuk about to take her second attempt. Yarrisley Silva, as we say, very experienced campaigner, the 2015 world champion from Beijing, 3rd in London in 2017 in the World Championships. Form indoors going back to 2014, of course, when she took the World Indoor title in Sopot as well. 450 she jumped at the weekend, Jem, but she's capable of 482, so for her, very much easing her way into her year, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely. Birmingham was her first competition of the year indoors, and 450 was a decent start for her. So, yeah, she's already down to her 3rd attempt now at 4:37, so it'd be nice to see her go clear at this next height.
The Belarusian champion, Irina Zhuk, her second attempt coming up here at 4 metres and 37. And this time it works out for her. Fresh off that performance again for her at Birmingham at the weekend. 4 metres 61 her clearance in there, which actually is only a centimetre short of her indoor personal best set last year of 4:62. So again, she's coming here with probably a hope of maybe nudging that a bit higher with some world-class opposition alongside her.
I think this is the time to do it, just before that European Indoor Championships, which takes place in a couple of weeks' time in Glasgow.
So Zhuk well clear of that. So Silva will come back for a 3rd attempt at 4:37. Stefanidi, by the way, has passed through to 4 metres 62. Sidorova due to come into the competition at 4 metres and 57. And Kyria Kapulu at 4:47. So the 3 main athletes, if you like, all coming in at different heights. But Yarrisley Silva at the moment, the Cuban, has got it all on to make sure that this is not a wasted trip over to Germany. 3rd attempt at 4:37. Oh no. So that's a bit of a surprise for Yarrisley Silva. As we say, there's obviously still a little bit of rust in the system, and that is something to go away and work on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes when you've not competed for such a long time, sometimes things in training could be going really well, but when you actually come and put everything in place in the competition environment, looking at all the external things as well, you know, especially she'll be so aware of what the other girls are doing. She's coming into this competition knowing that girls are clearing in excess of 480 bars. So it's interesting, you know, she did come in at 4:37. She's not opted for the higher height straight away like the other girls. So I think she's very aware of where she is at the moment. They topped, didn't it? A lot of national records, personal best, season's best. So, yeah, hopefully these ladies will have carried that form on to here this evening.
We will keep you bang up to date with the women's triple jump. As we pick up the pole vault then, Irina Zhuk, as the bar has gone up to 4 metres and 57. First of the athletes to attempt this. She's taken second attempts at both 4:37 and 4:47. And she'll need a second attempt at 4:57 as well. The 26-year-old Old Student Games champion from 2017. It's a little bit inconsistent this over the last few weeks or so. Jumped 4:56 in Madrid, 4:23 in a meeting in Poland, and then 4:61 in Birmingham. I guess as vaulters there are some days when it just doesn't come together, isn't it?
Every runway is completely different, and you know, you can see that sometimes, especially the triple jump that we saw, like you say, in Karlsruhe, a lot of people struggle to find their speed on that runway. A lot of the surfaces are quite different. So yeah, I think we'll just see how the competition progresses. It seems to be whether people jump high, get out to a good distance in some of the horizontal jumps.
Commonwealth Games gold medalist Alicia Newman of Canada, who battled back from a really serious injury. It's great to see her back vaulting at a world-class level. Certainly, at just 24 years of age, lots more to come from her as well. Bronze medalist from the Commonwealth Games in 2014. Upgraded that to a gold on the Gold Coast in 2018. Set a national record, actually, in the first meeting of this tour in Karlsruhe. She is attempting 4 metres and 57. So Sidorova will come in at this height as well. Very intimate arena here, as we said, which means that not only the athletes are very close to the crowd as they make their way round on the outside of that track, but also the vaulters and the triple jumpers probably jumping and vaulting about as close to spectators as you probably get most places in the world, I think, here, Jen.
It's very much like a training environment, isn't it? It's quite a relaxed feel, and I think hopefully that will really bring it out of the athletes. I think sometimes when you can relax, you know, just go through the motions, focus on yourself, get, you know, 1,500 people behind you supporting you. The crowd now I'm watching just the pole vault are really clapping Alicia Newman, and, you know, she's smiling and she's enjoying it.
Yeah, you can see just how close the crowd are there, just a few metres away from Alicia Newman as she takes on 4:57 for the first time. Yep. Very good. The smile at the start of the runway is obviously the key. A happy jumper is or happy vaulter is a successful vaulter. And Newman with those Olympic rings on that necklace as a memento of her appearance at Rio in 2016. She's 4:57 over at the first time. Kyria Kapulu goes next.
Yeah, she's really enjoying her jumping, isn't she? I was listening to what she said in Carlsjö. You know, once she's got back from injury, she's just great to be back out there again.
Very much an evolving event, isn't it, for women? As we see the women's pole vault, Stefanidi with one foul already at 4:62. 2 fouls for Stefanidi.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a lot of women pick up fouls in these early stages. We wouldn't expect Stefanidi to be fouling at this sort of
In fact, that's actually her first foul, Jen. Sorry, I've sold her in race 1 of the 800 metres. As we pick up the pole vault, and this is live pictures of Stefanidi, second attempt at 4:62 m, with Newman having failed twice at 4:62 as well. Stefanidi looking for her first bar of the competition. And she gets it, so Stefanidi, a welcome clearance at 4:62, and her competition is up and running.
Yeah, she enjoyed that, didn't she? And it's always a relief once you clear your first height. So, yeah, 4:62, she's up and running.
Well, there wasn't a lot of competition for Diariba in that 800 metres down the home straight, as we just see a replay of Stefanidi, who's, as we said, had a few problems with illness, but again, she's given up plenty of air, isn't she? And she's the one, I guess, live to the pole vault. We're at 4:67 at the moment, and this is a second attempt for Nicoletta Kyria Kapulu. Alicia Newman has passed at 4:67, so has Stefanidi, and so has Sidorova, who has one clearance on her card so far at 4:57. So Kyria Kapulu here, second attempt at 4:67 m. And it's good. It's good from the 12 times national champion of Greece. Again, we say has come here with the bounce factor, I guess. 4:81, an equal PB in Birmingham at the weekend. We talk about whether athletes can produce again, 4 days later, Jen. We'll talk much more about that with Samuel Tefera a little bit later on. What can he produce 4 days on from that incredible run in Birmingham with some of the competition he's got? But for Kyria Kapulu, I guess, and particularly for field athletes as well, who are, I guess, a lot of rhythm and things and you know, technical aspects coming together, I imagine competition's relatively close together. Of course,
She can actually get herself on that board.
and she needs to improve at the moment by a couple of centimetres only, as we see Stefanidi live in the pole vault here. And she aborts that one. That was a first attempt at 4:72. Again, live with the pole vault, Stefanidi, with Newman having failed twice at 4:72. Stefanidi will have her second attempt. Kyria Kapulu, by the way, is the current leader with her clearance at 4:67 m. No one clear yet at 4:72, which is this height. Still no one clear. Stefanidi will go to a third attempt for the first time. First bit of jeopardy for her in this competition.
We've seen some great heights, haven't we, in all the competitions this year. In Birmingham, there was 3 ladies over 4:81.
Okay, as the pole vault continues towards its climax, there's a climax right now on the track. It's time for the women's 60 metres final.
Actually get that jump in, it actually shows what a great competitor she is.
Pole vault, we're live with Kyria Kapulu here. In fact, that's Sidorova, sorry, with Sidorova, who's cleared 4:72 at the second attempt. Angelika Sidorova. Stefanidi, by the way, has failed 3 times at 4:72 and is out of the competition with her clearance only at 4:62. So with Newman also, Angelika Sidorova, second attempt, 4:77. And it's going to stay on. It's there for Sidorova. 4:77, a meeting record for the authorised neutral athlete, the recently crowned Russian champion. And that solidifies her position here at the top of the tree. And certainly now she knows that with Stefanidi out of the running and Newman out of the running, it's her title. And again, I guess we're going pressure-free now in terms of trying to extend. She's jumped 491 this year, don't forget.
Yeah, she'd already tied the meet record with the bar previously at 472, but she gets that outright now at 477 on a second attempt.
And it will be the conclusion of Nicoletta Kyrgiopoulou's evening if she doesn't clear this. Third attempt at 4 meters and 77. To deny Sidorova victory for now. Wasn't close. Bar came off on the way up for Nicoletta Kyrgiopoulos. Her clearance of 4 meters and 67 gives her second position overall and gives Sidorova the victory. Again, people look at that and they say, well, she passed at the last height and then failed 3 times at the next one. But as we were talking about earlier, Jim, for those new to the pole vault, often tactics in terms of count back the number of failures on your card can decide things if you tie heights with other competitors. So when they see what other competitors are doing, there are tactical passes. It's not because she thinks she could easily clear it. Sometimes it's all down to those tactics. And that time it didn't work out, but I'm sure many times it does.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It's actually great that she's come here and she's actually finished in second position. She has had some time out of the sport, being injured. So actually to get back and be competing with those girls and clearing these sorts of heights. 481 in Birmingham just at the weekend, along with Holly Bradshaw and Katie Nagot. You know, these girls are really clearing these 470s and 480 bars regularly. So yeah, 472 here this evening. I'm sure she'll be delighted with that.
So Kyrgiopoulos, just we saw her coach filming it all on the iPad, and again it's
maybe he just wants to get a run out.
I'll tell you what we've seen happen before in these sort of events is competitors run a time trial on their own sometimes, where, you know, Jarrett Eaton could end up running a time trial on his own to try and get a time to make the final. But we'll come back to that in a second, because at the moment that is all unclear, but it does mean a delay to the men's 60-metre hurdles final. But this is our pole vault champion, not just here in Dusseldorf this evening, but on the IAAF World Indoor Tour. The MR on the scorecard of Angelika Sidorova, the Russian athlete competing as a neutral athlete, meeting record. Can she improve it further? 482 the bar's gone up to. First attempt. No.
It's quite difficult, isn't it, when the meet's won, the tour's won, and now you're just actually pushing yourself. You know, how high can you actually get?
She looks spent. She looks absolutely out of it, Sidorova there. It's again, for anybody who thinks that pole vault is not a testing, you're only running up, what is it, 30, 40, 50 meters or so, and the amount of physical power that takes to use those poles to get over these supreme heights. You could just see from Sidorova there resting on the bed exactly what it takes out of these athletes. And this was an aborted jump.
It was. That's her 6th jump of the competition. So, you know, you can see the scorecard of some of the other athletes. They've had far more jumps than she has. She actually came in at 457. She missed a couple of heights, and then she came in the competition again at 472. Maybe it's just the combination of the competitions that she's had the last few weeks. I think she competed in the Russian Champs just 4 days ago.
Yep, I think you're probably right. I think it is probably a combination of those things, as we